Hello everyone, welcome to the United Stand here at Carrington Training Ground ahead of Manchester United versus Barcelona. We're going to bring you footage of Erik ten Hag's press conference and some access behind the scenes here to training, open training. We're going to see what players are here on the training ground here. We've just been perched in a corner at Carrington waiting for the team to come out now with Erik, and hopefully we're going to see faces that we want to see here, and we've got no more injury updates on anyone. Okay, United players just walking out onto the training ground doing light warm-up. We can just see them jogging off right now, doing a couple of laps of the training ground pitch. The few players that were suspect for the game or to actually be involved in training are out there. We've got Harry Maguire at the front of the pack just running around there as well. Anthony's back training. Ten Hag did touch on this in his press conference, saying that these two players, Anthony and Maguire, will be assessed after training today. Does that necessarily mean that them players are going to be in the matchday squad, on the bench, in the starting lineup? Personally, I don't think, knowing Ten Hag and how he's approached games so far this season, when the players come back from injury, that they will go straight in. I think we could possibly see Maguire and Anthony on the bench though tomorrow night. If they are out here training with the first team, it's usually a sign under Ten Hag that they will be involved in the squad. Like I said, ifs, buts and maybes, but Ten Hag did say they will be assessed, so let's just see after this training session if Maguire and Anthony are actually in the matchday squad or have any involvement at all. On the pitch adjacent here, we've got Martial doing his own training session, so quite clearly not ready yet, but by the signs of that, you would say he isn't too far away. So good signs for Manchester United in terms of players coming back from injury. By the end of this week, when the final comes around on Sunday, we could actually only have Christian Eriksen out injured, so all positives for United right now. Can they carry it forward into the game tomorrow night? It looks like spirits are high with the players. Scott McTominay, the Joker, at the back of the pack again. I don't know who it is there. Garnacho maybe wrapped up there at the back. Yep, Luke Shaw's in on the axe as well now. Joker's at the pack. I think that's Garnacho there, it usually is. He's usually the guy at the front of all the jokes. Just shows with the young players in there. You can see young Zidane Iqbal in there as well. Kobe Mainoo's at the back of the pack there as well. And Garnacho, how they've integrated into this squad, and I think is there Brandon Williams there as well at the back. I think there is. It looks like a fully cohesive and a unit right now, this team. Every single player, like we said on many of fan vlogs before, we have seen players come off the bench and just be ready to go. When seasons gone by, it's just not been the case. It looks like Manchester United right now are united, pardon the pun. It is a squad that is together, and you can only feel confident going into this Barcelona game. I feel like Manchester United right now are as good as they've been in a very long time, and just being able to get this access off the side of the training ground here and see how the players act and how they are around each other, it's positive signs for all Manchester United fans. Good to see Anthony there at the back. He was a mainstay in the team for Ten Hag up until his injury. I do believe that he will play a part against Barcelona. I don't know what it is or why I feel that way, but I think in terms of Ten Hag's shape, I think Anthony will play a key role, especially over these next few weeks now with having to mix up the squad, change things around. The fact that Rafael Varane was in the press conference as well kind of tells you that Rafa's going to be in both of these games coming up. If he is going to be playing against Barcelona, I can't see, and Ten Hag has rested Rafa over the last few weeks in terms of like making sure he's ready for the big games like Barcelona, then resting him against Leicester. I think Rafa's going to be in for the Newcastle game in the final on Sunday and for Barcelona tomorrow night. I think it's crunch time, and I think Ten Hag couldn't have his squad in a better shape right now. The only player, like we said, really, Martial missing out, is the only one that would really add to how we've been playing recently. I think him coming back into this squad now over the next couple of weeks will add a different dimension altogether and give us a completely different option in our forward line. Wout Weghorst there training at the back of the pack. It's like two groups passing the ball around right now. Wout Weghorst at the back with the likes of Palestra, Brandon Williams, what looks like Fred possibly at the back. Hard to see from here. Wan-Bissaka as well. But I think like he's gave us something and has really helped us But Martial coming back, I think, is just going to give us that extra bite going into the end of the season. Hopefully Martial stays fit going through to the end of this season now, especially over this next few weeks with massive games coming up. Let's not forget, we've got obviously Barcelona tomorrow night, sorry. Then we've got the final against Newcastle at weekend. But after that, it's FA Cup. Heading into the quarterfinals if we beat West Ham. Last 8 there of that competition. And then after that, it's the crunch game at Anfield away on the Sunday. So you're going to need every single player available. It's the only way you can manage to compete at the highest level in all these competitions we're in. And Manchester United are fighting on 4 fronts right now. Premier League, yeah, laugh it off if you want. It is still there, 5 points off the top. Obviously the final at weekend, there's one competition out of the way. And if United do beat Barcelona tomorrow, make that statement win, then I see Manchester United going all the way to Budapest. And I don't think there's many people, pundits, fans, experts, would say anything other than that. I think Manchester United are the form team in Europe right now. Watching Real Madrid against Liverpool last night, I could say you could argue the point for Real Madrid. How we're competing with Barcelona at this level right now, and then seeing Real Madrid, I think, 7 or 8 points off what Barcelona are, and then seeing a team like Liverpool last night get dismantled by Madrid, who finished with 92 points last season, but Liverpool. Shows you the impact that Ten Hag has had on this squad. Let's not forget, players he has brought in have added. No Eriksen, obviously, but just talking off camera there to another journalist about the impact that he's had in terms of how he's improved players we thought were dead last season. I had no hope of even wearing a Manchester United shirt again. The likes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for example. Some people even wrote Marcus Rashford off last season. Sell him, get rid of him, take whatever offer you can. He's now the best forward in European football. As we just see an Anthony twirl there in the corner. He's back, he's definitely in the squad. If he can pull off the twirl, then he can definitely get back in the matchday squad. But yeah, I feel like this right now, the vibe around Old Trafford here, there is multiple journalists and world media here right now for this game, and you can see the spotlight is back on Manchester United. It's important that United are up there at the high table of world football, European football especially. And I think a statement win against Barcelona would cement that place right now for this squad. And then, with everything that's going on off the pitch, the ownership and what could happen in the summer, add some quality faces to it. United competing in the Champions League again, I think, is the big one, and actually staying there. It's all about stability, and Ten Hag knows this. Let's just see Bruno handing out the bibs there. El Capitano. Rafa did answer questions quite well in the press conference as well. Smooth off the pitch as he is on it. I feel, right now I'm just watching it here, I'm just praying that no one goes in like a steam train and takes someone out in this circle, in this passing circle. And gathering on the Ten Hag training sessions are quite intense, but as a fan I'm stood watching thinking, please no one twist an ankle, no one go down now, not at this stage of the season. I think everyone is actually crossing everything as a United fan, United staff, players, that we do stay fit now all the way through to the end of the season. But I feel confident. I feel more confident than ever. Talking after the Leicester game at weekend, we're talking about players coming back. Simple little bits of changes that we can make. With just even Scott McTominay coming back in the team, being able to take Fred off, who's played every game recently and had an impact in the games. I feel like that's important for Ten Hag right now. Just being able to rest certain players for maybe even half an hour in games. I feel like that is where he needs to be with this squad. He would like more, I feel. I think he needs a bigger squad, better quality and depth, definitely. But I think he has got everything he needs right now to attack the rest of this season. And I keep going back to it, but the fact that Martial is just on the pitch to the side of us here training on his own and isn't far away from joining the rest of the players now, I think is massively important, and he'll will make a massive difference towards the back end of the season. And then when Eriksen comes back in April, for them last few weeks of the season, it's just that boost and that change that just may give us enough to take maybe even more than one trophy. That's me talking confidently about actually winning on Sunday, first of all. I do think United will be big favourites for the Newcastle game at Wembley in the final on Sunday, but you know what, anything can happen in the final. We've seen what happened to Nick Pope in that game against Liverpool, Mai's out, one mistake, one red card, everything changes. I think that's what Ten Hag drills into his team. Simple mistakes cost games, individual errors. Everyone has to be as one. Like when I got grilled for asking the question about Casemiro in the press conference. It's about the team, not one individual. Everyone needs to be moving in the same way. And obviously we're not going to see much of that in terms of what we get here in training and what we get to watch. But I'm sure you can just see from the footage here how the buoyant mood that the team is in. I think this Manchester United team and Ten Hag at the helm feel more confident than ever. Even looking ahead to that Liverpool game, Liverpool away from home, you feel like that's a game that United would come unstuck in. I feel more confident now just because we've got Ten Hag there. Never mind the form of the players, I just feel like we've got a manager that understands every single occasion. He'll know what it means for Manchester United to win that trophy. Talking in his press conference just now about the Barcelona game, he understands how important and how big in European football this game is. Everyone knows it doesn't belong in the Europa League, especially not in the knockout stage in February. It's the latter stages of the Champions League game, this. Just noticing, is that Garnacho there, fully blonde? I think that is. I was just trying to figure out who it actually was then. It is Garnacho, I think, with a new do, with his back to us. Yes, and there's Martinez, the butcher, trying to destroy teammates in a little warm-up circle. Nothing changes. But yeah, just like I said then, just watching United players move around, and we can't take anything from a little warm-up session right now. Obviously it gets more intense when the cameras have gone, but you can see for yourselves, Casemiro there, Dalot, Varane, these players there, the leaders, mixed in with Garnacho, Kobe Mainu, the experience that these young players are going to get, the confidence. If we did get a chance to ask Rafael Varane or Ten Hag a question today, it would be one of how important it is and how he's managed players like Varane, Casemiro in games to keep them fit for the important games that are coming up, like tomorrow night, like the final. The way he's managed his squad, brought young players in, made substitutions when needed, giving players at least half an hour rest in games. I think that's the sort of questions you've got to ask. And I think they're the important ones going into weeks like we've got this week. I don't know who's shouting loudest at the moment there. It looks like Casemiro's the leader in the pack. But yeah, would have been fun to ask if Rafael Varane was watching a Liverpool game last night. Find out if he'd actually had any contact with any of his old Real Madrid teammates regarding us playing Barcelona. This sounds like a big bunch of girls, to be honest, if you ask me, but looks like the warm-up fun session's over. That is bleached blonde from Garnacho. That looks like Anthony's gone white from here. Garnacho fully blonde, all for the big occasion. And you've got old Harry Maguire in the middle there. Tried and trusted mop. Oh, there you go. It's hard to tell which player's which in some of them when they've got these snoods and hats on, but I'm guessing the size of the guy, is that Fred? No. Like Fred behind Maguire? Is there anyone that small in our team? But yep, here we go. McLaren's taking charge now. You can hear his voice booming from here. As training intensifies. Good insight into how a team like Manchester United train and getting access behind the scenes like this. It's important for everyone to see, I feel. Just getting that little bit of knowledge and getting a look at what happens in training, even though, like I said, it's not the most important part, the tactical side of things, just what the players go through day to day.
Oh, yes, yeah, I know.
There's the man, superstar, Marcus Rashford, McTominay, Brandon Williams. This academy line-up full on this side here for us. I'm still trying to spot Fred. I'm guessing Fred is hid in that outfit close to us. I'm trying to just confirm players and everyone that is here, but I've still not seen a full Fred. We'll try and confirm that. There is one player just here behind Harry Maguire right now, I think might be, but Is that Fred? Oh, sorry, I've spotted him. He's in the lineup with Shaw, Bruno Fernandes. There he is at the back, and Casemiro on Dalot. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. So who would be the player in this front line up here? Palestre? Or is he at the back? Oh no, we're guessing, but the main players who we want to be in this training are here. And that's what's important, especially for these games coming up this week.
Where is
Is
he wearing jersey?
No, but Ten Hag isn't out at the moment. It looks like Van der Gaag, Benny McCarthy and Steve McLaren right now. McLaren taking the main warm-up of training. Interesting enough, just over to our right-hand side as well, we have Robin Van Persie here as well, watching training today. But, yep, just as I say that, we have been told to wrap it up. That's our open training bit done and dusted. Hope you enjoyed the insight and the commentary over the top.
Hi everyone, welcome to our pre-match press conference for our UEFA Europa League game against Barcelona tomorrow evening. We will have translation available for English and Spanish. Let's get started. Simon.
Hi Eric. What do you need to do as a team differently to last week to get through the tie? And secondly, what's the update on the fitness of Martial, Anthony and Harry Maguire?
Well, let's start with that. Of course, we have still a training to go, but I expect Harry Maguire and Anthony Dos Santos available. Anthony Martial is not available. He's back on the pitch, not back in the team training, so we'll wait for that. Yeah, what we do different, that is, you will see tomorrow on the pitch, and then you see it. We have an idea, of course, but of course we can't tell that now.
Primeramente, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Primeramente, ¿qué hay que hacer diferente en esta vuelta contra el Barcelona? Y segundo, ¿me puedes poner al día sobre si están en condiciones Martial, Anthony y también Maguire? Pues la respuesta, empezamos primeramente con los que están en condiciones. Martial y Anthony van a estar en condiciones, pero algunos de los jugadores, Martial, perdona, no va a estar en condiciones. Está entrenando con nosotros, está de nuevo en la cancha jugando, pero no va a poder participar mañana. ¿Y qué hay que hacer diferente? Pues veremos mañana la idea que tenemos. Hay que ver lo que pasa en el campo.
Thank you. Eric, hi. Barcelona over recent years have had to make some pretty serious financial decisions, in part to try and keep up with clubs like United and those in the Premier League. Given your experience outside of England in particular and now coming into the Premier League, do you have any issues with how much more money Premier League clubs have to spend, even over a club like Barcelona, world famous, supported by so many million?
Yeah, it's obvious. I think that is the developments in international football, and so there are regulations, and everyone has to keep the regulations. It's also clear, but be fair, I'm not totally informed about all those regulations. It's not my job in the club, and my job is to have a good team, to develop the team, and so give good team performances.
La pregunta era sobre el Barcelona y la parte financiera y lo que hay que hacer, por ejemplo, equipos como Manchester United en la Premier, para seguir gastando dinero para poder competir con clubes como Barcelona que tienen tantos fans, que millones de seguidores. Y la respuesta, obviamente, se trata del desarrollo del fútbol internacional, de las normas que hay que seguir esas normas, pero si te soy sincero, no estoy totalmente informado con lo que pasa en ese asunto. Yo me encargo más del desarrollo del equipo en el campo.
Eric, a big week for Manchester United that kicked off with that impressive win over Leicester. Did you expect massive occasions like this, the game against Barcelona and then the cup final, to come so early on in your spell as United boss? And can you give us an idea of how the dressing room, how excited they are for this week?
Oh, yeah, definitely, and we all want to play big games, big matches. That is when we were young, we dreamed of it, and we are now in a position, and it's still February, as you say, but a big game is coming up, and we are really enjoy it. We're really looking forward to it, and we're really excited, and we have to give our best because we want to match with the best.
Y la pregunta es una gran semana, obviamente. Iniciaste esta semana con una victoria impresionante contra el Leicester. Después, obviamente, tenés la final del Carling Cup, del Copa de la Liga. ¿Cómo está el vestuario? ¿Están muy emocionados? ¿Y pensabas que iba a venir tan temprano esas posibilidades de jugar los partidos grandes en tu carrera aquí en Manchester United? Obviamente, la respuesta era, obviamente, estamos muy contentos. Todos queremos jugar estos grandes partidos. Era un sueño para muchos de nosotros de joven y solo estamos en febrero. Tenemos grandes partidos y estamos listos para disfrutar este partido y dar el mejor en el campo.
Rafa, you have experience with how difficult it is to beat Barcelona and play in those occasions. How impressed were you with how the team performed at Camp Nou? And how confident are you that you guys can finish the job tomorrow night?
I think the first game against Barcelona was a very good game, top level, two offensive teams who wants to press high on the pitch. The level was very good, and it was a good result for us. Obviously, in the first half we could score maybe more goals, but in general we played with character and personality on the pitch, which was very important. And I think for the second game, we know exactly how we want to play. We want to play with passion, with discipline on the pitch, and believe. And I think we have a good team and we are ready for that challenge.
Sí, la pregunta era, Rafa, has tenido experiencia de enfrentar a Barcelona y sabes lo que significa y lo que hay que hacer para ganarle al Barça. ¿Te quedaste impresionado con lo que hicieron en el Camp Nou y estás confiado de que pueden terminar el trabajo? Y la respuesta, primeramente, creo que jugamos un buen partido. Era un partido de alto nivel de los dos equipos ofensivos, presionando alto. Tuvimos un buen resultado. Creo que en la primera parte podríamos haber marcado más goles, pero demostramos el carácter, personalidad en el campo. Y yo creo que con paciencia, disciplina y tener esa fe podemos tener un buen resultado también aquí.
Neil.
Rafa, if I could ask, how much confidence does it give an effectively new team to win a match of this size against an opponent of this size?
I think on the last month we grew a lot. I think we are playing with more confidence, and tomorrow the atmosphere will be electric. So we have to manage our emotions and stay calm and believe. And I think we improved a lot already as a team. And the next step is to beat teams like Barcelona, and it's a great challenge for us and a great opportunity.
Si la pregunta es cuánta confianza y para tener un nuevo equipo, poder enfrentar a un equipo o equipos tan grandes del tamaño del Barcelona. Y la respuesta de Rafa era, creo que hemos crecido muchísimo en este mes, tenemos más posibilidades, más confianza. Mañana el ambiente va a ser eléctrico y tenemos que gestionar nuestras emociones, tenemos que mantener la calma y creer. Y creo que hemos mejorado bastante. Ahora es cuestión de subir un escalón más y es un reto bastante grande contra el Barcelona y creo que estamos listos para este reto.
Samuel.
Rafa, what's been the difference between this season and last season, which was regarded as one of the worst seasons the club's had in a long time, whereas this season everyone feels that the club's a genuine force again?
I think first of all it's the confidence, and secondly I think it's the discipline. I think tactically we are following exactly the rules, and we know exactly how we want to play, how we want to manage the game, and and I think the qualities in the squad but yeah, I think with a little bit more experience and the mentality of competition and winning mentality, we already improved a lot, and that's maybe the difference between this season and the last season.
La pregunta era, ¿qué tan diferente ha sido como esta temporada? La temporada pasada, por muchos era uno de los peores en los últimos tiempos. Ahora mismo el Manchester United de nuevo es una fuerza, digamos. La respuesta era, primeramente creo que se trata de la confianza, y por segundo es la disciplina y de hecho de que estamos siguiendo algo más táctico, siguiendo las normas, jugando tácticamente mejor, y creo que eso también creo que hemos mejorado en cuanto al plantel. Tenemos un equipo con más experiencia, esa mentalidad de competir, y de así se puede tener como una mentalidad ganadora, y creo que estamos haciendo bien, y por eso creo que son las mayores diferencias entre esta temporada y la última.
Dave.
Hi, Eric. You were pictured having dinner, I think, with Sir Alex Ferguson. The picture that's come out. I appreciate you may not want to divulge what was said, but how valuable is it having his experience and expertise to call upon when needed, particularly ahead of big European nights like tomorrow night?
Oh, it's massive. And I always enjoy it to speak with people who have a lot of knowledge, have a lot of experience, and he wants to share it, and so he wants to help, he wants to support. You feel Manchester United is his club. He feels so committed, and he wants that we are doing well, and so it was a great night. I'm looking forward for next night with him.
Sí, la pregunta es, hemos visto las fotos de ti cenando con Alex Ferguson. Quizás no vas a querer hablar sobre lo que hablaron, pero ¿qué tan importante, hasta qué punto puede ser importante esa experiencia y ese conocimiento para noches así grandes, europeas, como las que tienes mañana? La respuesta es enorme, ¿no? Yo disfruto hablar con las personas que tienen conocimiento, y también él quiere compartir su conocimiento y su apoyo para Manchester United. Es su club y está comprometido, y me encantó hablar con él, y fue muy importante para mí, y espero ya con ganas de que tenemos la próxima cita.
Take a couple of Spanish questions.
Buenos días, Eric. Mañana Xavi tiene las bajas de Gavi, también de Pedri. ¿Cómo crees que puede afectar esto al Barcelona? Y si crees que Xavi puede ofrecer o puede apostar por un sistema diferente al de 4 mediocampistas que vimos en el Camp Nou. Gracias.
So first and foremost, hi Eric. I just wonder what your thoughts were, given that Xavi is going to be without Gavi and Pedri, who played in the first game, and I wondered whether or not you had an opinion on if Xavi is going to change his system, perhaps put 4 across the middle as he did in Camp Nou.
Yeah, so I don't know what Xavi is thinking, but it's obviously Gavi, Pedri, big, great players. Although they are very young, they already have a positive effect on the game of Barcelona. But also their squad is so much depth in it that they have players who can replace them, and tomorrow there will be a very good team for Barcelona. So if we want to win, we have to play our best.
Primeramente, no sé, obviamente él tendrá sus planes. Gavi y Pedri son muy buenos jugadores, pero también son jóvenes, pero contribuyen a la forma de jugar positiva del Barça. Pero obviamente tienen un buen grupo, hay mucha profundidad en ese grupo, y seguramente podrá encontrar a alguien para reemplazar a esos jugadores, pero tenemos que estar listos y tenemos que estar preparados, tenemos que jugar bien mañana.
Una pregunta para Rafa, Francesc La Torre de TV3. Te quería preguntar, Rafa, lo mismo. Tú estuviste en el campo con Pedri, con Gavi la semana pasada, también tienen la baja de Dembélé, si puedes contestar en español, por favor. ¿Cómo les puede afectar, y si esto os hace, jugando en casa con el ambiente de Old Trafford, favoritos para ganar?
Bueno, yo creo que son bajas importantes para ellos, pero creo que el Barça tiene una plantilla muy grande, y será un partido de alto nivel. Tenemos que estar preparados para competir, y sabemos que la filosofía, el estilo de juego será lo mismo, unos cambios de jugadores, pero la idea será la misma y tenemos que estar preparados para jugar bien o quizás mejor que en la primera vuelta para ganar y clasificarnos.
So the question was, if you could answer in Spanish, was the request. Obviously, we've spoken about the fact that Gavi and Pedro will hopefully be missing for this second leg, but also Dembele. Can you tell us what you feel, Rafa, about those absences, and do you think that makes your team favourites tomorrow? And the answer was, obviously they're important absences in the squad, but also Barcelona have a big squad and they can find replacements for this. We need to be prepared to compete, and they can bring players in who are ready to play in this game. I think we have to be prepared and we have to play the same or even better to go through and qualify for the next round.
Last two, one Spanish, one English. The lady there. Yeah.
I'm not Spanish.
Sorry. Okay.
Can I ask my question?
Okay.
Sorry. Eric, you have the chance to win a title this weekend. You have the chance to eliminate Barcelona from a European Cup this week, and you're still in the title race. How would you summarize the progress the team has made this season? And do you feel like Manchester United are getting enough credit at the moment?
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's not about credit, it's about trophies. We have the opportunity, but the first focus point is always the next game, and in that league we can't win the trophy this week, and we have to go from game to game. That's the focus, but especially we have to keep in the same mindset, and that every day we want to give a better version of ourselves. And we are sure when you face such big teams as Barcelona, you have to play your best. Otherwise you don't have a chance, and so we want to get through to go to the next round. So really tomorrow we have to give the best performance from this season, and we believe in it. Looking forward to it, so it gives a lot of energy.
So the question was, la pregunta era, obviamente tienes una oportunidad de ganar un título el fin de semana y estás enfrentando a un equipo de Barça mañana y también sigues peleando por el título. Háblanos un poco del progreso aquí en Manchester United y crees que reciben el mérito de lo que han conseguido hasta la fecha. Y la respuesta era, no se trata de tener méritos por lo que has hecho, se trata de ganar trofeos. Pero nuestro enfoque ahora mismo es el próximo partido, no estamos pensando en cosas más allá, no estamos pasando nada por alto. Y tenemos que ir semana por semana y tener esa mentalidad siempre para sacar la mejor versión de nosotros. Y obviamente lo que tenemos que hacer mañana es sacar la mejor versión de nosotros y estamos a estar preparados, pero estamos con ganas y creemos que lo podemos hacer y eso es lo que vamos a hacer.
Last question, Chris.
Hi Eric. You were very animated with the fans after the game on Saturday. Clearly it's a big game for you. You've had some big games in Europe at the end of your time at Ajax. I think Benfica and Roma were two of the big ones. Does this feel like your biggest game in Europe since the Ajax Spurs semi in 2019?
For me, is the next game always the biggest game. So I have to go back, but I'm not the type who is looking back. I'm looking forward, and so I'm really totally excited tomorrow. Two big, great teams facing each other at Old Trafford. It will be a massive atmosphere, great ambience, and I think this is the best you can get.
La pregunta era, te vimos muy animado en el partido del sábado y sabemos lo grande que es ese partido. Has enfrentado a grandes equipos, has tenido eliminatorias muy importantes con el Ajax, Benfica, Roma también. Este partido es el más grande desde el partido contra Tottenham en 2019, cuando estabas en el Ajax, y la respuesta, siempre para mí el próximo partido es lo más grande. Y nosotros estamos mirando con ganas, estamos muy emocionados de jugar mañana dos grandes equipos que se enfrentan en Old Trafford. El ambiente va a ser fenomenal allí y podemos esperar dos equipos dando lo mejor y haciendo lo que pueden en el Old Trafford mañana. Y estamos con ganas.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.